Legend of Zelda, the title theme. Now honestly, the title theme is classic. It's an iconic piece of the Legend of Zelda history. It really sends you on that note of I'm ready for an adventure. And honestly, seeing as this is the main theme moving forward for all the Legend of Zelda games, it's honestly perfect to be right here, the Legend of Zelda game. And honestly, to this day, they're still making remasters and remakes of this soundtrack. It just is perfect for this game. Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, the dungeon theme. Now honestly, the dungeon theme is so fantastic. It really is that music. You've probably heard this all over the place and wasn't sure where in the world did this come from if you've never played The Legend of Zelda 2. It honestly is just that boogie sort of theme when you really come to think about it. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, main Hyrule theme. Now honestly, I think that the main Hyrule theme is perfect. It describes the Legend of Zelda. Just like the first game, this one really gets me boogieing. It really feels like I'm on the main adventure. Now of course, pretty much every single Legend of Zelda game has a remaster or remix of some of these tracks, but this one for some reason is so good. It fills me up with nostalgia all the time, and then there's also potentially because this is linked to one of my favorite games of all time. The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. All musical instruments. Now honestly, you get halfway through the game and you're like, I wonder what they sound like all together. Well then when you get to the end of the game, it absolutely sounds amazing. It was very well worth waiting through the entire game to hear all the instruments together. It perfectly is that amazing soundtrack and I absolutely love it for them. It just is like a band in the fingertips of your hands. Honestly, it's so fantastic. I absolutely love this sort of thing. Now, of course, I picked the HD version background because it just sounds a little bit better, but it still is essentially the same game. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Now, Ocarina of Time has so many fantastic tracks that honestly, it was really hard to pick which one is my favorite. But honestly, I have to go with the Gerudo theme. The Gerudo theme is so fantastic. It really gets you boogieing all the time. And it makes some fantastic background music if you know what I mean. Honestly, I just think that this is perfect and it really describes some of my personality. I just love it so much. It gives you some of that fierce, encouraging battle style, but in some ways, just a little bit of a toned boogie sense. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Shop. Now honestly, I think the shop theme in The Legend of Zelda's Majora's Mask is absolutely amazing. Like it really is that. The notes from the highs to the low notes of this song is honestly absolutely amazing. It just is just a perfect experience when it comes to it. I could sit in that building all day and listen to that. It's just perfect for some reason. Why does the shop have like the best soundtrack in the entire game? It's honestly kind of crazy. I really love it. It's just like do 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 do, and you kind of want to bring your arms side to side when you do it. It's just overall perfect. The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, File Select. Now honestly, with the File Select and with the Oracle of Seasons, I don't really have music that really stands out. This one I guess stands out because it's a remaster of one of my favorite tracks from other games, so potentially why I'm gonna pick this one. Now honestly, this one's pretty cool. It gives you that original track, but with a bit of a higher note. So it's kind of like that boogie sense, you know? You get up, you do the boogie. This is something that it really brings you joy when you hear. Honestly, this brings me joy when I hear. It just honestly is just a good song. Oracle of Ages title theme. Now you might be asking, why are we seeing these two games twice? They're very similar. Well, they're two games. Honestly, the title theme really is awesome. Like I like the actual theme of the Legend of Zelda games, I also like this. Because right now, GBA games or Game Boy games don't really hit that same note in my ear. So I really do enjoy just the nice, satisfying tune of the title screen. It's just like, okay, you want a different Legend of Zelda soundtrack? Well, you got it. Just get up, do the boogie, kind of, not really. Legend of Zelda, Four Sword Adventures. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I never play this game ever, like absolutely ever. If this ever comes to the GameCube application on the Switch 2, well then that's going to be my first time playing this game. But honestly, the best music has to be the plane. Like honestly, I just like planes. I think that's what it's called. Well, this is what I did to search up is music, so plane. Overall, that definitely is a very good soundtrack. It gives you a bit of, there's a boss fight happening, it probably is a boss fight theme, and it just overall is awesome. It just makes you feel filled up with joy. Like if I had my camera on, you would see the joy coming off my face, probably pouring down my face because it's awesome. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Now honestly, Wind Waker is one of my favorite games. I really do enjoy this game. It has so much to offer and so much to do, and picking a soundtrack that is probably the best was actually really hard. I could have gone through a couple, but I ended up going over my options and picked Dragon Roost Island. Now honestly, I think that Dragon Roost Island is fantastic. It's that perfect background music and also that perfect boogie music. I could just lie down in Dragon Roost Island while I do some work, when I do whatever else, and just have Dragon Roost Island playing. And honestly, it's just such a good and iconic sound. When you probably hear Dragon Roost Island, you're like, that's Wind Waker. That's Wind Waker. It's so good. That's so iconic. Overall, it definitely is fantastic. The Legend of Zelda, Four Sword Adventures. I'm gonna tell you right now, I never played this game as well. I have no idea where this came from. Is this the GameCube game or is the other one the GameCube game? But overall, Tower of Flames. This is honestly a pretty fantastic soundtrack. It definitely shows what this game is all about. You need your four buddies to have a fun time with you, to make sure that there's no bad guys around. It just makes a lot of sense when you really come to think about it, because it just is that perfect soundtrack that you just need everyone to feel the power and the fear coming off your faces. Perfect. The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap. Now honestly, The Minish Cap has a lot of different great soundtracks, to be honest, but there's one that always stood out to me for some reason, and it just made me really happy. And that was the Coco Chase. Now honestly, the Cuckoo Chase or the Coco Chase, whatever you want to call it, is honestly really awesome. It really is that happy music, that happy, go on, you got this sort of style. It honestly is perfect. I really do enjoy this track, and I honestly think that it potentially might be just a masterpiece. It's just so good. Now of course, it's not as good as other tracks from other games, but hey, for this game, it's absolutely amazing. The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Honestly, I think Twilight Princess has a lot of great soundtracks. Most of them are dark and scary, but others honestly have that just sense of joy, a calming, peaceful adventure when you really come to think about it. And that would be Ordon Village. Now honestly, I think that this is just a fantastic soundtrack. It has so much to offer when you really come to think about it. I know, it might not be everyone's favorite, but for me, I just absolutely love this sound for some reason. It's just perfect. It might be a good lullaby, it might be a good just sit down and relax sort of game. Overall, it is perfect, and it makes some pretty fantastic background music, if you know what I mean. The Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. Now, Phantom Hourglass definitely has a lot of fantastic soundtracks. Since it's essentially the continuation of Wind Waker, I was able to pick a song from Wind Waker that I wasn't able to pick and essentially throw it into this one. And this would be the title theme. If you haven't noticed, the title theme is essentially the Great Seas song from The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. And honestly, it's perfect. It really gives you that adventure feeling. Absolutely love this. It has so many great qualities to this song. It just is great. You can sit there and watch the title screen forever if you want to. If you played The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, this will bring you some great nostalgia. That was me just a couple hours ago. I was sailing the high seas. Honestly, it's pretty fantastic. Legend of Zelda, the Spirit Tracks. And honestly, Spirit Tracks is absolutely amazing. There is so many soundtracks and music that is just really good, but I had to pick one, and this has to be Aboda Village. Now honestly, this is pretty fantastic. This one just gives me that happy feeling. If you know me, I just like being happy. having the soundtrack is perfect. I can just keep coming back to this. In fact, I have this in one of my playlists full of Legend of Zelda music that usually tends to be happy music, or whatever I would call it. Happy music, bubble music, whatever the case may be. It definitely is awesome, and it belongs here. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Now, Skyward Sword is honestly a phenomenal game. It has so many soundtracks that is honestly crazy, and it's really, really hard. But there's one soundtrack, or maybe should we say full of tracks, that really I always come back to. And in fact, if you've been a fan of the channel, you'll realize that I put this inside of the background music of my videos a lot. And that would be the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword staff roll credit music. Now, honestly, this right here is absolutely amazing. It really gives you essentially that 3-in-1 combo that you really, really want. For example, you get the Zelda sort of music, you also get the Ballad of the Goddess, and you get a couple other soundtracks like the main Legend of Zelda theme and so much more. It just is a perfect soundtrack. Of course, it might be a little bit longer than all the other ones, being at like 7 minutes, but still, I can't go anywhere without this soundtrack. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. It gives you that adventure feeling. It gives you like, this is it. This is the end of adventure. This is where I've gotten to in the past 60 hours or so. Overall, it's just perfect. The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. Now remember how I was like, there's another game that I want to really take this soundtrack for? Well, essentially, A Link to the Past is essentially A Link Between Worlds, and honestly, this is fantastic. Now there's one soundtrack that I really love, and this is the Lorule soundtrack. Oh my goodness, it is so good. It is absolutely amazing. Half the time when I play that game is just to go in Lorule, go and find whatever I want, battle some enemies, just to hear the soundtrack. It is such a good boogie sound, and it also is just like a good overall soundtrack. It really gives you that sense of adventure, that sense of purpose, if you know what I mean. It feels like there's darkness surrounding you everywhere, and it's your job to go and solve it, so you better get solving it. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Now honestly, I'm gonna be clear, never played this game as well. But I will say that there's one song that stands out to me the most. Main theme. Oh my goodness. Why is this main theme so good? It's like it's back in the Western times. And honestly, it's fantastic. It really gives you that experience, that amazing vibe. It's kind of a mix of country and like you're literally wearing a cowboy suit and you're doing a little bit of like, you know, the big cowboy stuff. Overall, it definitely is so fantastic, and this is a song that I will just come back to and just keep coming back to. It really is that go energy type of thing. Sometimes I'll even listen to the music right before I'm about to make a video, because it really brings like that energy level way up there. Overall, it is such a good soundtrack. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now honestly, Breath of the Wild has so many great soundtracks. Mostly what it is pretty much just a fest of music that will help you calm down or study or work out loud, whatever the case may be. It honestly is great, but the one that really stands out to me is honestly the epilogue. My goodness, once you play the entire game, you do everything that there is to do, you do all the Koroks before beating the game, and then you go and beat the game, you get the epilogue, it pretty much is, your job is finished. Well done, the adventure is done, you pretty much go and relax now. It honestly shows and describes Breath of the Wild perfectly in my opinion. I absolutely love the soundtrack, and oftentimes this is where I go for just a, okay, I did it, very job well done, you really done it, champ, congratulations. Overall, it just is so amazing. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Kolgora. Now honestly, there's no other soundtrack that's ever beaten this one. It is so good. It pretty much is Dragon Roost Island, but on a whole other level. If you've ever seen those fan remakes of the sort of music, my goodness, this is absolutely amazing. It really is that hype music. When I play Tears of the Kingdom, I love just sitting there and not shooting the actual boss when you go and do the boss fight, but instead just sort of float in the air and listen to the music. Oh my goodness, I can sit there and listen to this soundtrack for like 10 minutes straight. It honestly is pretty fantastic when you really come to think about it. This soundtrack is so good. Like, it's so good. It's the best out of anything. Of course, there's so many other soundtracks, but for some reason, I absolutely love it. And it's kind of a shame that it only plays during like one boss battle, but overall, it's so good. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom Hyrule Field Theme 2. Now honestly, this one is perfect. It just is sort of that you got the flute going and you're ready to go. It honestly is just perfect and it brings me a lot of joy. It's just sort of a calming experience. Honestly, I found this song to be just like, wow, alright, this is a different experience. I'm ready to listen to everything that that game has to offer. Overall, it just is a perfect experience when you really come to think about it. Of course, it's not as good as other things, but like, it still is fantastic. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. We went through pretty much all of the soundtracks and I absolutely love it. Let me know what your favorite soundtrack of any Legend of Zelda game is in the comment section down below. You can give me your first, second, third, fourth. You can give me all your favorites. Do an entire list if you want to. Anyways, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, and thank you for all of it. If I was gonna say what my favorite track of them all combined would be, my goodness, it would be hard, but I have to go Dragon Roost Island, potentially, or even the credits for Skyward Sword. I love all those themes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.